So these are our starting points. Taking these apart. You can see, piling them up. I'm going to bind them together in a way that allows for leaving a tongue and groove. And that way they can stack together better. And then I'll do a Swedish dovetail. I believe that's what it's called, for the corners, for the external corners of the structure. So those will be here, there, there, and there. And I'll have a large door here, 40 inches. I'll have a couple of windows on either side. Up front, those will probably be about 2.5 feet by 1.5 feet vertical. And then if you come inside, the external external measurements are 8 by 12, and you can see marked there. That's a 77 inch wide by 4 foot tall window that will overlook the garden. And on the opposite side, there will be a 77 inch by, I believe it's 16 inch window. I'll put it up a little bit higher, I think. I'm gonna have a loft over here that will be full width, and I'm thinking maybe I might make the loft so that it is the full square foot instead of leaving it open at one end. I want to do it 8 feet tall, so I'm not, that way we can stand up inside. And I'll have at least 7 foot before the bottom of the loft, but we'll see. That depends on materials, how long I want to take to do it, since I'm acquiring these materials as they become available. So I can put that window up toward the top a little higher. I can make it so it hinges from the top, so it kicks out at the bottom and has an opening. But I also plan to do shutters externally so that it can be protected from the storm. And the windows I have are single pane, so that will help with the cold times as well. But I don't want to feel enclosed more than necessary, especially since it's a lot smaller space than what I'm used to as a cabin. So I'm standing in the corner, all the way in the corner, and there are my feet, goes out to there, over to there, and that's it. So 12 feet is not, 12 by 8 externally, so it'll be 11 by 7, taking about a foot off for the 6-inch thickness of the walls. It's not going to be huge, but that's the plan right now. I might consult some family on this and see how they feel about the floor space. I could make it bigger. It would just take a little bit more material, but it wouldn't be a bad thing by any means. But considering that you'd have a sleeping space in the loft and the living space downstairs, and I could do eventually, probably not right now, but eventually I could do a little wood stove and have that stovepipe go out the wall. It would just heat the whole area, and the loft would be heated because the lower section would be heated. But that back wall is going to be just solid log. It's not going to have any windows. And you can see the wraparound porch that right now it's set as a 4 foot deep porch, but I might extend that, especially on this side, which will be out the front door. I could even do 8 feet. That would be simple enough. and with not much effort I could do that. But I'll level this all off with some paver stones before I place anything on the ground. That way the logs are held up, suspended, and not soaking, and that it gets level, since this space is not level. But that is the preliminary progress, and it's all out of the pallets that you see. The whole structure, I'm gonna make the doors, I will be making the frames for the windows, and we'll have a 40-inch Dutch door. Might put a kid door in the lower portion of that so they can come in and out by themselves. We'll see. But that's the plan right now, and we'll see how it turns out as we go, how it progresses. So as materials become available, we might build it up faster or slower, but so we're getting started, and I am excited to actually be getting started, because this has been a dream for a long time, and we're all okay with code. I've checked with the municipality, so I have records of correspondence with the city engineers to make sure that this is all okay. So that's something I definitely wanted to do before I started anything, so that I made sure to have no problems later on. It's not I don't want to have problems and have my son be let down just because I didn't do my part and my due diligence ahead of time. So that's where we're starting. What I want to do, and we'll see how it turns out, but what I want to have is a door that comes off of the balcony or off of the loft out to the outside on the edge, and have a balcony there, and off the balcony have some slides, maybe both of these slides. I'm not sure, we'll see. Maybe just the green one, he likes that one more, it seems, but we'll see what we decide once we get to that point. I'll have to have it come out and then step down to a platform that has slide options. But I'm excited for getting something done for the family. This is going to be something that I'm going to do it in a way that it can be disassembled and reassembled. So if we relocate, or if we want to relocate the cabin, that we can. Someday in the future, we'd like to have a piece of property out in the mountains, and that would make it so that we could just take this down in a group effort, obviously, and transport it and reassemble it on location fairly easily, is the idea. But that's a plan that I've got in mind from the get-go, so that we can build it in a way that is easier to disassemble when the time comes, but still sturdy and strong for all use purposes. So if I were to put a wood stove in here eventually, it'd have to be a really small pot belly, I think, and then I would be able to stick it kind of over in the corner and keep some usable space on this side. I might consider a living area and small kitchen space, but really just something more like, for cooking breakfast inside when it's still cold outside, something like that. But I wouldn't want a big space enough to do a full kitchen, because I just prefer to utilize the space for being comfortable rather than a full home space. This is originating from the idea of building a playhouse cabin, something a little more sturdy than that for our kids, and I've developed it into the idea that I've just explained, really wanting to do something that's decent quality on a low budget, because I've been in school for the last number of years, and the budget for something like this has pretty much been zero. Just the fuel that I've spent going back and forth to pick up these kind of supplies. And if you look, then you can find from time to time, depending on your source, pallets that are larger like these, as that one is 10 feet, this one's 8 foot, and some of them are 7.5 foot, and it's by 4 feet. And if you notice, they have screws instead of nails. Now some of those break off when you remove them, but a lot of them stay intact, and that's going to be a resource that I take advantage of in order to perform the assembly. And I'll point that out as I progress through creating the logs that are going to make this log cabin. And the windows that I've obtained, people have shared the glass with us, and that's allowed us to keep the budget again to just fuel to transport those here. And a couple of them came from someone's home, the larger ones that'll be on the ends, and the smaller ones are pieces of glass that used to be on a piece of furniture that we obtained secondhand, and so those were given to us also. And so they're tempered glass shelves. It's why the odd dimensions that I mentioned earlier. So I think they're 25 inches by 16 inches, something along those lines. But they're both the same, so I can get symmetricality in the appearance as I place them on either side of the door on the same wall. So that's all that I'm concerned with, and I'll make them so that they can open, so that we can get some ventilation. That is the plan, and this is the ground layout, not ground breaking, but ground layout, since it's all going to be above ground. And you can see, there's a bit of a slant toward the brick wall, and so I'll adjust this, square it off a little bit, because when I went into the house and looked out the window, I realized it's not totally square, so it's a little closer to the bricks here than it is there. It's still far enough away with code, it's just fine, but I just want it to be a little more symmetrical in the way it faces the house, so that it looks good to us when we're inside it and when we're looking at it. But I think a 4 foot wraparound porch might be a little bit small. We'll see, because for the back side I think it'll be fine. That'll just be along the berries, and I'll leave this open space and just put up the vertical supports necessary for the roof, because on this side it'll just be a roof probably. I don't think I'll put a balcony all the way around the second floor, but I might. I won't know until I'm doing it. So it would be fun. Either way, it's going to be solidly supported by 6x6, basically. So it'll be fun. It'll just be more work to move. So we'll see. My son, you see there's a park behind us. My son likes to stand up there and overlook the people in the park and holler at them. Have some fun that way. Just, say, hey, how you doing? Have a good day and such. And so he might enjoy that if I do a full wrap. And it looked like a pretty fun structure, I think. In my head, I'm already having fun with it, but we'll see what I end up doing. So here's the view from the garden. My sad but progressing garden. At least I was able to get in here and get most of the weeds out. Anyways, that's a whole nother topic. You can check out the videos I've done on updates there and see how bad it was. But this is the beginning of a very exciting step for me and for our family. It's definitely been a topic of conversation for quite some time, and I look forward to getting help from my brother, getting the higher boards in place and the ridge beam. And we'll see. I'm thinking about trying to do some timber framing just for the roof part. I guess it'll all be timbered because it's not going together traditional style, but we'll see how it comes. I'm excited. If you have any suggestions, then please include them in the comments below. Please like and subscribe if you want to see how this progresses, and I will get the updates out as often as I am able. Thank you very much for your support, and also please share this video with anyone else who you think might be interested. That'll help me out. Thank you much.